You were never supposed to see me like that. Not the version of me that smiles in class, the other one. The one that goes home and feels like everything is too loud and too quiet at the same time. You were never supposed to notice that. You were supposed to be like everyone else. Take attendance, teach a lesson, forget my name by the time September came around. That's how it always goes. People show up and stick around just long enough to leave. I learned to stop asking for them to stay because asking means hoping that they'll stay, and hoping means disappointment when they walked away. So I stopped hoping. I made myself smaller, quieter, easier to ignore. I learned to carry things no one can see, the burden on my back that I didn't even have words for. And I told myself, this is just how it is. Until you, because you didn't just look at me like I was another student. You looked at me like you could see all the things I was trying so hard to drown in my pool of thoughts. And instead of pretending you didn't, you stayed. You stayed when I couldn't explain what was wrong. You stayed when I didn't have the words. You stayed when I pulled away because I thought if I made myself distant enough, you would leave faster and it would hurt less. But you didn't, and that confused me because I was used to people leaving the moment things got hard, the moment I wasn't easy to deal with, the moment I wasn't okay. But you stayed in the uncomfortable silence. You stayed for the conversations that didn't have clear trajectories. You stayed when I couldn't even understand what I was feeling. Do you know how rare that is? To not be too much for someone, to not feel like you have to shrink yourself just to be allowed to exist. You listened like I mattered, like I wasn't being dramatic or difficult or something that people had to deal with. And that changed something in me. There were moments where everything felt too heavy to carry, moments where I didn't even know how to get through the day without feeling like I was falling apart inside my own mind. In those moments, you were there. Not judging me, not fixing me, just there. Often, that was enough to keep me going. Then the school year ended. This is it, I thought. This is where you leave like everyone else. This is where I become the past, a memory you didn't need to hold space for any longer. But you stayed, even when you didn't have to anymore, even when it wasn't your job, even when it would have been easier to leave. You stayed, and I need you to understand that everyday decision to stay, it mattered more than anything else, because you didn't just stay for the easy version of me, you stayed for all of it, and maybe you'll never fully understand how much that means, but I need you to hear this. Thank you for not leaving when others would have seen it as the light at the end of the tunnel, for listening when I didn't even understand myself, for staying when I needed someone more than I knew. Because you didn't leave, you stayed. And because you did, I'm still here. And that truth will follow me long after this bell stops ringing.